And we have the pleasure joining us on the line, former JMU women's basketball player Kamiah Smalls, who also was the 28th pick overall in the third round of the recent WNBA draft. First of all, Kamiah, thank you for joining us. Congratulations. And before we get too far ahead, first of all, how are you doing and your family and everyone around you during this coronavirus pandemic right now?
First, Bobby, thank you so much for the congratulations. I'm so happy to be here. We're doing really good. You know, I'm out here in Harrisonburg with Lexi and Devin still. We're trying to stay as safe as possible. I stay in constant communication with my family back at home. So they're doing good. We're doing good. And we're just all trying to stay as healthy as possible.
Now, as for the COVID pandemic right now, how did that affect you in regards to preparation for the WNBA draft?
You know, it was a little different for me. If this all wasn't going on, I probably would have still been in Philadelphia with my family right now. But you know, it didn't really change anything. I still got that home vibe here with my friends. They made the day very special for me. So it was my 22nd birthday. I couldn't be more excited to be drafted on my birthday, and that was the best gift I ever got in the world.
Well, happy belated birthday, by the way. And yes, that is definitely probably one of the best gifts you could get, being drafted by the Indiana Fever. And as you said, you weren't home back in Philadelphia with your family. I believe you said you stayed in Harrisonburg. What led to that decision?
You know, I decided to come back out here like a couple weeks after our tournament got canceled, because the landscape is just different than Philly. You know, they got hills out here. It's basketball rims out here outside. Like, it's just different things that I can do. And I wanted to make sure I stayed in shape. And I'm always ready for that call when the Indiana Fever do call me down there. So just wanted to make sure I'm just as prepared as possible.
What was your take on the draft? How did you think the digital draft worked out for the WNBA, obviously with a lot of other things that may be coming down the line? This was kind of the first live, somewhat sporting event. What was your take on the digital draft?
I thought it was pretty cool, you know. I thought that, you know, it could have went a lot of different ways. I think that it was as special as it could be for what's going on right now. I think they did a good job in making the effort to give, you know, all those first round prospects like those hats and stuff like that. So I think they did a very good job at adjusting it and still trying to make the night as special as possible.
Give us kind of a rundown of your draft day leading up to you being selected. Did you do anything special? Obviously, we saw the trending reaction once you got picked, but just give us the entire day overall. What did you do? How did you kill time? And, you know, just those moments prior to the draft.
It may have been the longest day of my life, Bobby. I'm not gonna lie. The night before that, I could barely sleep because like my nerves were just running. I'm like, it's my 22nd birthday. Although I have no expectations of anything, you know, I still want this. I'm excited for it. And that day I woke up, I ate some breakfast, the best breakfast I could eat. We sat around for a lot of that day. We were just passing time, playing video games, about the same routine we would do any other day. My friend sang me happy birthday right before the draft came on. We sat down in front of the TV. I made sure my family was on the phone, and then that's all she wrote from there. It was history from there.
Now, I'm sure the day got longer even once the draft got started. What were your emotions like leading up to hearing your name getting called? And what were you being told the chances of your name being called throughout the process?
I was sitting around, you know, just watching as close as possible, watching every person that was picked. I saw every name come up on that screen. So I was just curious as to when, if they thought I was capable of doing it, you know, against the Sabrina Ionescu's and everybody else that name was up on that board. So it all came down to just patience for me, to be honest. In that moment, I waited for my mom. I actually heard my mom and my sister screaming on the phone first before I started screaming. So they actually set us up to get that reaction video pretty well. So without them being on that FaceTime call, I don't think that Lexi would have got that video in such a good like detail.
Speaking of that video, it just felt so natural and organic in so many ways, and what it's all about in regards to seeing someone's dreams come true. Just talk about that reaction, and then seeing your reaction kind of go viral here over the last few days after the draft.
that is the prime definition of dreams to reality. Like, that's the best way I could put it, like that was the most genuine thing I could have ever done throughout my career. Like, I didn't know what to do in that moment. I could not believe what I just saw on that TV. And then it was like, it flipped in like a second. Like, I went from screaming to like crying because I just got drafted on my 22nd birthday in like a mix of people from like so many higher D1 schools that like, I'm like, they believe in me just as much as I believe in myself. So it just was crazy, And then to see it, like, I remember distinctly being on the phone with Coach O when Lexi asked me if she could post it. And I was kind of like brushing her off a little bit. And she's like, well, I'm going to post it and we're going to see what happens. I said, fine. And then it started going viral. And I'm like, wow, like, this is all happening in a matter of like 4 hours. So it's pretty cool. It's amazing. I just hope it sprinkles a little inspiration on somebody else.
Indeed. Congratulations again. Being drafted by the Indiana Fever is just the latest in a long line of accomplishments you had this season. So let's go back to your senior year a little bit. And you accomplished one thing that you wanted to do early in the preseason, which was being named CAA Player of the Year. So congratulations on that award as well. And just talk about what it means to be named CAA Player of the Year, and just, I know the senior year didn't end the way we all wanted it to end, but just talk about your last season as a Duke.
Thank you again. And that's like the top of the top right there. I appreciate every coach that voted for me in that, for feeling like that. I'm deserving of that. So I had to beat out a lot of good players for that award, and I know that the CAA is mid-major, but like, we got some ballers, and it wasn't easy to do. We came out competing on an everyday basis, and I just laid my all out there every single night. Every time I step between those lines, it was about just giving my all to JMU. So I'm happy that I did that, and that we went far, and that just that like other people were able to see my my talent and my skill, and just thinking that I was worthy of that award.
Talk about some of your favorite moments being at JMU. What will you remember the most as you move on?
I'll just never forget the dog that they put in me. For the past 4 years, Coach O has been pushing me to be, to hit my ceiling, to go past my ceiling, to be more than what I ever believed I could be. So that dog mentality is something I'll carry with me forever. And he gave me a lot of my swag too. I come from Philly, and we get a little bit of that already, but he definitely added to my bunch for me. He definitely did, and that's something I can never thank him enough for. And all my teammates, it's just been a great process. Every game, all the fans, it's just been amazing. It's been amazing.
And what will you remember the most about playing in the CAA? Like you said, you already kind of mentioned the conference and how tough it was night in and night out. But what will you remember most about playing the CAA, and how much did this conference competition kind of help you to get to where you're at today?
First and foremost, that no matter the level, like I said, there's ballers everywhere. So you got Kiana Jeter at Townsend, you got Eva Hodgkins at William and Mary. Like, it doesn't matter. You're competing, and we're going to compete on an everyday basis. That's the number one rule of the CAA. We're going to go hard. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the level that they put us at. So I appreciate that from all my opponents, and I want them to keep that going. Just keep riding the CAA, because they can't put us down always, and we can rise to the top if we really wanted to. Just everybody that's out there, just keep going. Just keep going. Go as hard as you can. Give your all to the CAA, because it's good. It's good. And if we want to make this bigger, we got to keep going bigger. So just go hard.
Wrapping up today with Kamiah Smalls, who was just drafted by the Indiana Fever. And speaking of the Fever, what is next for you in regards to your new ball club? Have they given you a plan for how they're going to operate during these times, or have they told you anything in particular, what to start working on now? Obviously, I'm sure you'll continue your workouts and working on your game, but is there any indication of what they want you to do here in the future?
I haven't got much of that yet. I'm still waiting on a couple calls, So I haven't really gotten into that phone call with them quite yet. So like I said, just waiting on them to let me know. But until then, I'll just keep preparing the best way I can. Hopefully I'll be ready to, for the level of intensity that they're about to bring, and for training camps when they do decide to start it up again. And just I can't wait to get this next chapter started. It's just so exciting.
And speaking of getting the next chapter started, and you just talked about training camp, how excited are you, ready to go to training camp and start mixing it up and get yourself prepared for the next level?
I'm so excited, Bob. Like, so excited, Bob. Like, if they called me today and told me they put me on a plane tomorrow, I might start screaming again. So I'm ready. I'm ready like now.
Kamiah Smalls joining us today. Congratulations again. It's been a pleasure watching you throughout your career, and good luck in your future endeavors and with the Indiana Fever. And, of course, stay healthy and safe, and hopefully we can catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Bobby, so much. Same to you.